Hello and welcome back to my channel. Jo Yuri, the last member, kind of the last member of IZ*ONE that I have to learn about, check out. There are others, but in terms of, I think, those that carried on like a K-pop career, either solo or in another group, I know some stayed in, promoted in Japan or maybe even China. I'm really not sure, but I know there are others. Just not in the purview, I think, of the K-pop industry. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is supposedly the last one. I think the last one we learned about was Yena, who I've gone on to do a bunch of stuff over on Patreon. If you want to see a couple of her episodes of Animal Detective, I saw her interview over on Lee Young-ji's show, Absolutely No Prepare. That was really good. And now it's Jo Yuri's turn. So we've got her solo debut song Glassy, as well as a B-side called Opening that I know that she composed and wrote. So it'll be interesting to see that aspect of her as well. These are requests from Steph. Thank you so much. Remember to check out my Patreon, like I said, if you guys are interested in extra content. Let's do this thing. Glassy by Jo Yuri. Main vocal, I think, right? She's a main vocal? Oh, yes, she is. Hold on, are there... Yes, I don't know why captions weren't on. I like the deep bass in this song. I wasn't expecting this funky of a beat. Classy vibe from her, and playful too. You never know what to expect necessarily, because like you look at someone like Yena who has similar visuals, I think, to Yuri here. Like they're both cute, but Yena takes that cuteness scale like to the 10th degree in her solo, whereas this feels a bit more mature but still fun. Oh, she's got a gorgeous voice. Really like the bass line in this. Interesting with the color changes here. What is the purpose of that? Even this feels kind of Alice in Wonderland-like. That concept seems to be all over the place, but something mystical. I don't know if it was them three. I'm not sure 100% if it was them three, but I heard people talking about just a really hard to discern line of members. Think of like the triplet line of Luna kind of thing. It might have been Yuri, Yena, and Chaewon possibly of IZ*ONE, because they kind of all look pretty similar to me. And I don't know them super well. I mean, I could tell the difference between Yena and Chaewon now very easily, but it's almost like Yuri is like a blend. Oh. Oh, God, the way that she enunciated four. She's got a fairy tale-like voice. It suits this concept really well. My God. Oh, it's a bell. One of those really feel-good, positive vibe songs. Even the disco ball, it's super dancey in the chorus. And from what I'm seeing here, like, you have these daily task routine looking things. You have her going shopping, her doing work here on a typewriter. Not that people do that, but that's kind of also the fact that they're mixing in those daily tasks and making them a bit more fairy tale. That's why, you know, she has this very fairy tale looking space that she's in, this nook, study, whatever you want to call it, with a typewriter. But the glass slipper, I guess, is her journey. It's like that pathway to something more. It's like kind of maybe the classic princess fairy tale thing, the thing that will take you away from the monotony of normal life, even though this monotony for her looks pretty damn good. That's the kind of feeling I get from this. I would be willing to bet that she is a part of that line that I mentioned, because they look pretty similar to me. Oh, and she's under Wake One as... Didn't we just check out someone else who is also under Wake One? That's really interesting, just like Kepler. Huh. I like that. I want to actually kind of like roll back, not all the way, but like halfway. I don't think I've ever done that before, but I kind of want it. So let's go. Like, she's got the youthful, cute look, but a bit more of a mature voice. Her tone. I kind of see a little bit of tone a little bit in her as well. Would you, Sonia? It's her mouth. I'm really liking these fantasy concepts that have been making the rounds. Such great creative visuals. And that's the vocal run that makes the song for me. Her outfit there is like she's gift wrapped, like all the presents we've seen throughout the video. Ooh. Great solo debut. I like this one. Yeah, like perfect mix of the mature vocals with still very like positive, free feeling aura surrounding the song. So I like that. Now let's move on to her B-side. This is Opening. I'm assuming this is just on the same album. I don't know. So let's see. Glassy came out 11 months ago. She might have had another comeback since then, right? It seems like she would, but let's check out Opening. Let's go. I think we're gonna see some more vocal flex on this. 막이 점점 올라가고 시작됐어. 우린 하루 시작 그리고 끝 온통 너로 가득 자꾸 빨라지는 심장 숨길 수가 jazz club feel. 없어 하루 끝에 반쯤 걸친 네 생각에 Oh, I like a voice like this. It's just like I said, it's youthful. It reminds me of someone maybe a little bit like Chu, to where it's like cute, it's light, but it has depth. It's not like thin, you know? That's the best way as someone who doesn't know anything about singing can describe it. It's like a light, airy voice that has a lot of depth. Even this feels storybook. It's got that kind of waltzy cadence. Yeah, this music sounds like it's ripped right of a fantasy film, or even like a Disney film. Those light trills that accentuate her lines. I kind of want to hear her sing something like this live. Oh! You have like the big flourishing like percussion too at points. This song felt super like atypical too. Like it belongs on a soundtrack or an accompaniment to a film. And I think that's part of the the fantasy fairy tale kind of feel that not only did we get from Glassy, but I think especially this one. I don't know if that's maybe her main concept around this album that she released, her debut album, assuming which was a mini album possibly. But man, it really does show off her vocals. This is something that, seeing her face, I want to see her energy like as she sings it. A live performance where it really elevate it. But I like it. It's one of those songs that like I really enjoy. Is it something that I'd pull for like super often? That's where you'd have something like Glassy that's just more palatable and something you want to listen to over and over again. This is a song that like hits you at the right time and you want to really listen to in specific moments. And it's really good, and she is a vocal powerhouse. And it's still kind of crazy, and I wonder every time. I've mentioned this multiple times. I'm like, IZ*ONE, I don't really know them very well. I don't really know much of their music. I've done like a reaction to one of their songs basically, and then as I've learned about the members being in other groups and where they've splintered off into, and I'm like, how did all these talented members come from a single group? How is that possible? This group must have been insane, and I know they were crazy popular, and I'm super late to it, and I've told you my hesitancy to get into groups that I've already disbanded. But now that I've learned where they've gone to and learned more about the members, it could be time soon to go back. But also I see that compliment simply to Kep1er. I look at Kep1er and I say, oh my god, there's so many goddamn talented members here in this group. It's unbelievable. And you could then see the writing on the wall to where that will then lead once that happens with Kepler, which is inescapable and inevitable. But this was great. Thank you so much, Steph, for the request. If you guys want to see my one or possibly two other reactions to IZ*ONE, check it out down below. And as I've said, I've checked out other groups that members have gone to, whether it be, you know, solos from Inbi, who actually has a comeback coming up really, really soon, members of IVE, from La Seraphim, Yena. So please check out all of that stuff. Check out my Patreon for extra content, live stages, album reactions, and variety shows. And I'll see you guys in the next one.